In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the music industry was in crisis. CD sales, once a golden river of revenue, were collapsing under the weight of piracy. Platforms like Napster, LimeWire, and Kazaa allowed millions of people to download music for free. Lawsuits flew, record labels panicked, and the industry searched for answers. The digital revolution had begun, and for a while it looked like the business of recorded music might never recover. Enter Spotify. Founded in Sweden in 2006 and officially launched in 2008, Spotify wasn't the first streaming service, but it was the one that scaled globally and permanently rewired the way people consume music. The premise was simple but radical: unlimited access to a massive library of music, available instantly, supported by ads or a subscription. No more buying CDs. No more paying $1.29 per download on iTunes. Instead, listeners could stream as much as they wanted for a flat fee, or even for free. From the consumer's perspective, it was liberating. From the industry's perspective, it was salvation mixed with controversy. For the first time in years, recorded music revenues began to grow again. But the way money flowed changed dramatically. Instead of one-time purchases, revenue now trickled in play-by-play, fraction of a cent by fraction of a cent. Spotify's influence is impossible to overstate. By 2015, it had become the dominant platform in Europe. By 2018, it had overtaken Apple Music as the largest paid music service globally. Today, it has more than 500 million users. The shift it triggered, streaming as the default mode of music consumption, reshaped every corner of the business. Artists, labels, publishers, and fans all had to adapt. Let's look at the economics. In the old world, selling a CD for $15 might generate $10 for the label, a few dollars for the retailer, and perhaps $1 or $2 for the artist. With downloads, artists typically earned a cut of each sale, which was small but predictable. With Spotify, everything became more complex. The company pools subscription and advertising revenue, then divides it among rights holders based on total plays. That means artists are no longer paid per sale, but rather per stream, in proportion to their share of global listening. The average payout per stream is around 3 cents to 5 cents. That means 1 million plays might generate roughly $3,000 to $5,000. Compare that to selling 1 million CDs at $15 each, which could generate millions. The scale of consumption has to be much larger to achieve similar revenue. But here's the twist: because streaming is frictionless, the number of plays skyrocketed. People listen to more music than ever before, and while per-play income is low, the volume can add up. Still, controversy surrounds Spotify's model. Many artists argue that payouts are too low, especially for those not backed by major labels. Critics point out that Spotify's pro-rata system favors the biggest artists. If Drake gets 5% of all plays in a given month, then 5% of all subscription revenue flows to his rights holders. That means niche artists lose out, even if their fans are dedicated. Some advocate for a user-centric model, where each listener's subscription fee is divided only among the artists they actually stream. Another massive change Spotify introduced is the power of playlists. In the old world, radio DJs and music television had gatekeeping power. Today, being added to a major Spotify playlist, like Rap Caviar or Today's Top Hits, can make or break a song. Playlists have become the new radio, the new chart, and the new marketing channel. Labels invest heavily in pitching songs to curators, both human and algorithmic. For many listeners, discovery happens not through albums or even artists, but through playlists that blend hits from dozens of performers. This playlist economy has reshaped the creative process. Some artists admit tailoring songs to maximize playlist potential, shorter intros, instant hooks, and tracks under 3 minutes to encourage repeat streams. The art bends to the economics, just as it did in the days of radio singles. Spotify has also become a data powerhouse. Every play is tracked, every skip measured, every playlist placement logged. For artists and labels, this data is gold. It reveals where fans are, what they like, and how they listen. For Spotify, it's a competitive advantage, fueling recommendation algorithms that keep users engaged. For artists, it's a double-edged sword. Insightful, but also a reminder that their music is being reduced to metrics. Let's consider the broader impact. Globally, streaming has pulled the music industry out of decline. In 2014, global recorded music revenue was about $14 billion. By 2022, it had grown to over $26 billion, with streaming accounting for more than 65% of that. Spotify led the charge, though competitors like Apple Music, Amazon Music, and YouTube Music also play major roles. The dominance of streaming means the industry is healthier, but also more concentrated, with Spotify wielding enormous influence over what gets heard. Artists have mixed feelings. For some, Spotify has provided unprecedented exposure. Independent musicians can upload their songs through distributors and potentially reach millions worldwide without a label. Stories of artists breaking out from Spotify alone abound, like Clairo, who went from bedroom pop to festival stages thanks to playlist placements. For others, the platform feels exploitative, delivering pennies while investors and executives reap billions. And then there's the matter of power. Spotify is not just a neutral platform. It actively shapes listening habits through algorithms and playlists. In doing so, it has become one of the most influential tastemakers in history. The company insists its goal is to democratize music, but critics argue it has centralized power in new ways. Spotify also branched into podcasts, acquiring companies like Anchor, Gimlet, and Parcast, and signing exclusives with stars like Joe Rogan. This move blurred the line between music and spoken word, expanding Spotify's dominance but also raising new controversies over content moderation and exclusivity. The revolution Spotify sparked is still unfolding. For the industry, it was a lifeline that turned free-falling revenues into growth. For artists, it's both opportunity and struggle. For fans, it's convenience and abundance. But it also raises big questions. Should a song be worth a fraction of a cent? Should algorithms decide what we listen to? And what happens to music when it becomes more about data than art? The Spotify revolution changed music forever. It saved an industry from collapse, gave birth to new stars, and created a new global standard for listening. But it also locked us into an economic model that continues to spark debate. Behind the charts, Spotify is more than just a platform. It's a business model, a cultural force, and perhaps the single most powerful player in modern music.